my YouTube channel, aren't you?
Probably. Is that
Uh,
the one with Bucky, uh, the guy, the funny guy?
I,
Bucky, the comedian? It's
I'm not sure about that.
okay. I'll find it. Not to worry. I'll hunt you down.
Here, what I'll do too is here is the link. Give me 1 second here. In the chat. That's the streaming link right now that we're on today. But
Okay.
if you just subscribe to that channel, you know. Good morning, Catherine. Hi, Vicky.
Hey,
Maeve, is that Austin? Is that you? Maeve? You can unmute yourself if you want to. Say hello.
yeah, it's me.
Awesome, awesome. Well, great to see you, brother. Good to have you here. Cool beans.
Good to see
Well,
you
let's get
too.
this party started, why don't we, huh? How about that? Rita, you got co-host, so if you see anybody pop in, feel free to let them in. And we are live right now. It is Monday. It's my favorite day of the week. We were just talking before we went live about this whole daylight savings change thing. Oh man, it could be such a pain in the rear end for people. I still woke up happy. I still jumped out of bed, and I was still very grateful to have another day. It is my favorite day. It is Monday. We do these Monday masterminds every Monday, 12 Eastern Standard Time. We stream them live right here to my YouTube channel, just so that we can get the word out. It's nice to finally hear that some people are watching on YouTube and some people are watching on the replays. We also take these replays and we post them within the Facebook group. But yeah, we've been doing this for about 3 years now. And if you're watching on YouTube, you feel like joining us live in the studio audience, so to speak, you can join us at going by going to thelosttransition.com/live. Join us live. It's way more fun in here than watching the recordings. However, you will get a lot of value. What we do is we start off by calling out through the audience, see what kind of wins that we had over the last week, where everybody's at, that kind of thing. Then we do a little block of instruction, if you will. It's kind of an effort for us to forget about what may have happened last week, get a topic and things for us to think about so that we move forward this week with lots of passion and be able to accomplish many things. So, that being said, join us live if you're watching on YouTube every Monday, 12 Eastern Standard Time. Let's start this off with a bang. I know y'all have some wins. Gene, it's great to see you back, brother. We missed you. Who wants to share what wins you had last week before we get into today's topic, which is a beautiful topic. It's week 10. We're going to talk about escaping the 9 to 5. So it should be fun. Anybody want to share their wins from last week? Feel free to raise your hand. I know y'all got some wins. Come on, go ahead, Gene.
My win is I'm not sick anymore hardly, so I survived the week.
Yay!
I did, and some of y'all saw this. I did basically nothing during the week. I slept. I made because normally I'm sick and I'm still at my computer, and I made myself stay in bed a lot. So, which was very difficult for me. But I needed that rest, and probably, like I said earlier, this bug will stick with me 2 or 3 weeks. Only lasted a week, and it's probably because I did that. I made myself get the rest. But another win that I have though is tonight on my company's Monday Jail and Tell testimonial calls. I'm one of the speakers on it tonight, so I get to tell my testimony, which
Nice.
is cool. Inviting a bunch of people to that. But that's pretty much my win right now. Is I didn't do much during the week, so.
That's all right. That's still a win, right? Like we should address that. I often say many times, if you're no good to yourself, you're no good to anybody else, right? So if you're not taking care of your health, obviously that's something to be considered, especially for today's topic and talking about beating that 9 to 5, right? If you're sick, you probably don't want to go into your 9 to 5. So same rule kind of applies in network marketing. If you're in that position to be able to do so, if you're not feeling well, then by all means, man, take care of yourself. It's not going to do you any good sitting behind a computer when you're feeling miserable. Part of that is because when we think about this, we're dealing with an energy portal here that is the internet. You don't want to project that nasty negative stuff and how you're feeling to other people, right? So great to see you back, brother. We missed you, and let's see how good this week is. Now you got to play some catch up and makeup, right? Who else had some Wednesday? Want to share? Catherine, let's talk about it, girl.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Tell me, tell me.
It's good to be here. My win is that I finally got social prospecting set up, and I did 5 posts. Well, I
Okay,
did more than that, but it was a challenge at first, but finally got everything worked out, and now I am good to go. Thank
good.
you for my beautiful, beautiful partner, friends in crime, Rita. It helped me a lot. But anyway,
Good.
we finally got that set up, and I am so happy about that.
That's
And,
good to hear.
and
And make sure you go through there and play with the different features that it has, right? Because it does quite a few things. The beta, we're almost done with the beta, and it's coming along pretty good. I use a few of the tools that are in there, but some of those tools are very helpful, and it will cut down on your time and be able to help you start those conversations. So kudos to you, Catherine. Great to
right.
hear.
And the second thing is that I didn't finish. Um, I was calling. I found out, not found out. I'm bidding my funder and stop calling the same people over and over again. And I know realize that it's a numbers game, and you got to put everyone in the funder, and then and sooner or later they're gonna start falling. So
There
I'm
you
not
go.
disappointed that I didn't get what I wanted. I realized that, and I'm steadily building my funder, and that's a win for me.
Good, good. I love to hear that. And that's part of when you hear us talk about being married to the process and divorced from the outcome, right?
Right.
Right there, like Rita just said, just be married to the process, right?
Okay.
And on that note, just a touch so that anybody that's watching that's new understands, being married to the process of what we're talking about is being able to have the ability to invite somebody to a presentation and be okay if they say yes or no, right? But in order to get more yeses versus nos, what we teach around here and how to get more yeses is all in how you deliver the message on how you invite people to the party, right? So that's what we teach around here. So great to hear, Catherine. I look forward to hearing more of your success stories as the weeks continue, especially to hear more about your telemarketing stuff. She's out there actually making cold calls to people, which I absolutely admire, 100% admire. Not a lot of people would be willing to get on the phone, and she's out there doing it. So kudos to you, Catherine, being the leader that you are. You're awesome. Keisha, what you got, my friend? You're muted.
Sorry. In one of our other um groups, we were talking about using LinkedIn newsletters to be able to, get more eyes on our business.
Mhm.
And I did my own research on it, and I found that, if you release your newsletter before you get to a certain amount, it only launches the newsletter once,
When you
right?
say a certain amount of what?
It, um, you can launch it at any time, but you want to have at least 150 followers to unlock certain things. But all the more, if you're at 1,000 when you launch the newsletter, you actually get a lot more eyes on your stuff faster because it only does a launch once. So what I've been doing is using the articles to build up my followers. And once I get my followers, then I'll build a newsletter. But in the meanwhile, I built out the newsletter strategy for 90 days out from when I launched the newsletter, including all the sections. And in the article series, what I've been doing is ethics in the workplace and then legal services in the workplace and employee benefits and stuff like that. So at no point do I mention any of the things that I'm actually selling. I am just promoting real value of how to run a small business, and I've had so much fun with it.
So if I hear you properly, what you're telling us is article, build the following, then newsletter.
Then the newsletter. I mean,
Right
the
on.
newsletter is just a series of articles in one place that's going into their inbox.
Right.
But Um, everybody's like, let's do a newsletter, let's do a newsletter. But I had to check first. I was like, newsletter sounds great. I've had an idea for a newsletter for the longest, but when I did my research, and I really have some folks who are heavy hitters on LinkedIn, that have a lot of free content on YouTube University. So I took the time to sit down and listen to them, and they're saying the same thing. You can launch at any time, but your optimal time to launch is when you have at least 1,000 people following you.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
The more the better, but at least get to that 1,000 before you launch the newsletter. Until then, do articles, get your eyes on your paper, get the followers up. And that way, when you do a launch, it goes into 1,000 inboxes instead of
Nice.
just a
That's
couple hundred.
cool, man. That's great information to share as well. Thank you. Appreciate the sharing the tip. And so you got that all done, I guess, with the AI and stuff, and you're ready to rock and roll, huh?
Yeah. So I used a combination of my avatar and my AI. So
Right
I
on.
got what I did was I got the avatar to give me all of the titles for each weekly series.
Right.
And then I went to the I went and I did long post and suggested image to create the article, and then I still had my AI turn around and make it better.
Right on. I call
So
that a win for sure. And now you're all set for the next 90 days. I look forward to hearing some of the updates on that campaign.
me too.
I look forward to the shares there, girl. Right on. Thanks for sharing. Who else has some shares that they want to? Who else has some wins they want to share? And hello, Michelle. Hello, Rick. Appreciate you guys popping in.
Okay, I'm gonna share.
All right, you share, girl.
I'm not on camera because I think with I feel like Jean have a situation going on, but I want to keep things real. Most times I am extremely on the positive side, but for the past 3 days have been in some kind of lower back muscle pain. Oops.
No.
It depends on what it is I do, where I move. And so I've been like Jean. I've just stayed in the bed and just let it rest. Got into the zero, what is it called? Zero zone? I don't know. Zero something. Anyway, the bed moves and
Zero
goes
gravity.
zero. That's it, zero gravity. So, and that seems to alleviate a lot, but I have to be mindful of how I move. Once I get moving, I'm okay. It's just when I got to make some changes. So, prior to that, I I did complete a video and I got feedback from you. I really, really do appreciate that. And I got feedback from other people as well, Jean and Keisha. And so I really, really do appreciate that because those are the eyes on that I of people that are not looking at it through my eyes. And that's what I don't need. I need to see how you see it and
Right.
how because you are the audience, you're the people, and it's not for me, it's for them or for you. So I was excited about completing that. Haven't gotten to edit it yet, but will soon. And I just said I'm getting on a call because sometimes you need the meeting or the meeting needs you. I think I need the meeting right now, so I'm here.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to send you positive vibes and love and all that fun stuff. And hopefully you get to feeling better fast. At least you're being productive too. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And thank you.
we love you.
Thanks, Vicky. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for sharing. Anyone else have some wins that they want to share? Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I don't really have any wins. Well, maybe I do. I just have to reach for them this week. I had a lot of strange occurrences this last week that
Ooh, fun.
took a lot of mindset to control the controllables. I got that little thing in my ear all the time now. And I can't imagine who that is. but the but I was able to get through all of it really well. And, there were some things that were disappointing. And then, but I'm doing good. I'm still pushing forward. I'm not going to let it stop what I plan to do.
There you go.
So I guess that's the biggest win that came out of all of it this last week. I was able to find a middle ground and weed through all the BS because that's all it was. Bad mindset some people have, really
I
bad.
love it. I love it.
So then it makes you really like take a step back and say, well, maybe this is a blessing that maybe I don't want to be aligned with some things, some people that I thought initially that I wanted to be aligned with
Mm.
because of they just don't have the same or a like mind. I don't expect everybody to be exactly the same, but I mean, it's like I want to improve. I want to move forward. I want to do better for myself and reach a great life. And so it was a very strange week,
I love
but
it.
I made it through all of it and I'm happy. And then it came to the end. I had relatives that came because we do have 24 acres here. Not all of it's mine, but they did come and I had more muscle power and everything. And they went and they picked up a lot of the hurricane debris and stuff that was still around from October on the other part of the 24 acres. So it looks really pretty out here. So that's a win. Yeah.
That's a lot of wins, girl. And
Yeah.
I gotta address this because we love you and we've seen such tremendous growth since we've been having these meetings, and I love seeing the growth. And the biggest one there that you talked about is that mindset, right? Being able to have the right mindset over the things that are happening around you. Rita and I often joke about this, but once you have that awareness and you see the things that are going on, and hopefully everybody was listening very intently to what she was saying, you'll see the right people that you want to connect with, and you'll also see, unfortunately, the ones that you don't want to connect with, right? So it's good to be able to see those things, and you'll literally
Yeah.
start being like Neo in the Matrix, man.
Mhm.
And
Well,
you'll
I
be
had to
able to
go
dodge
like
things
one
that
of these moments because it's like, oh my gosh, are we two? It's like, so it was good to just keep lipped and like assess the situation and keep
right?
tight lipped and just assess it and come out good.
I
So
love it,
that's what
love
I
it.
did.
Like Rita said there, you'll eliminate those not vibing with you.
Wow. Yeah.
Love it. Well, those are wins. I consider those wins for sure. And thank you for sharing. Any other
Thank you.
last wins? Anyone? Okay. Yeah. No? Just
Yeah,
checking.
me.
All right. Please do. Austin, my new friend Austin is joining us here. Appreciate you being here, brother.
Hello, my name's Austin Mildebrandt. I also go by Maeve.
Okay.
I prefer to be called Maeve.
Cool.
Um, but
Maven.
my win for this week and probably for the last few months was finding this opportunity.
Oh. Oh. If you're trying to make me smile, brother, it's working. Great to
No,
have
really. My um my drop shipping store is not doing so great right now. No sales,
you.
and I have to pay $114 to Shopify, and I have to figure that out.
Got you.
So it's just been the whole other store thing has been a L for me, but this has been a win for me. So I'm going for this. So
Love it, love it. Appreciate you being here, brother. We'll kick back, relax, take some notes if you need to, because we try to share as much stuff as we can that's gonna be as impactful as possible as well. So appreciate you being here, brother.
and thank you for all the welcome notes and all the warm gestures. I
For
appreciate it.
sure, brother, for sure. I love to help people, man. Everybody in here will tell you one of my biggest things is I want to see us all win. I mean, there's enough out there for everybody. So, Michelle, you got a win you want to share? And hello, by the way,
Well, I
great to see
really
you.
have more of an announcement type
Okay, all right.
thing.
Let's have.
So, for those of you in Got Backup, I know there's probably a few of you in here. I have created a group, what we call an ad tag and message group or an ATM group. And as for any of you in here, if you're familiar with an ATM group, if you're not, feel free to message me. But I like to see it grow. It's
But
actually got two opportunities in it, two $10 opportunities in it, because the goal is then to build additional streams of income. It will also, as we go along, have the opportunity to plug into Robert's coaching, because the way I see this occurring is it's going to start out with basic organic concepts of marketing and inviting. And then at some point in time, I'm going to add additional ways to market that are not strictly social media um, related. So that way people will get the uh, a full gamut of ways that they can plug into and then market their business, whether it's online, offline, whatever line, if that makes sense. So if anybody would like to come in, please let me know and I
why
will
don't
send you an
you
invite. It's not completely built out yet.
why don't you do you have a link ready at least though?
Um,
If
I
you
don't
got a
know.
link, drop it in the chat and we'll hit
Yeah,
it.
it's not, you won't be able to find it on Facebook yet because there's still some things I'm plugging in. But feel free when you look at it to, and I will as soon as I quit talking. Feel free to look at it, make any suggestions, anything that you would like to see. Um, and Robert, I'll set some time up, then we can talk about how people can plug into training and things
Absolutely. Whenever you
and
have
get
the
some
link.
benefit out of that.
Mhm. Whenever you have the link and you're ready, we'll share it in here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go grab it and then
For sure.
I'll get in.
Sounds good. And I'm glad that you brought that up too, anyway, because Maeve was even asking me this morning, am I going to have to build some groups? So I briefly got the chance to talk to him in Messenger saying he wouldn't really need to unless it got to that point, right? So one of the things that we do talk about is it's okay to mention right now, because we talk about this all the time when you're building your business. Facebook groups is a great way to bring people in and be able to expose them to the different content and information that you want to expose them to versus trying to share everything directly on your profile. So there are tactics is what we're talking about in order to
Yeah.
market properly. Because as I was explaining to Maeve again this morning, because he's got door-to-door experience as I do, it's a different animal when it comes to marketing online, which is a perfect segue for what we're going to talk about today when it comes to getting away from that 9 to 5 and being able to work for yourself from home full time. Gene, what do you got? Thank you, Michelle. Look
Mhm.
forward to that link.
Can Michelle or you explain what the ATM group is?
So ATM, the best way to explain it is the A is for ad, the T is for tag, and the M is for message. So it's not like an ATM that you would go to, but if you use the ATM method, it can fill your bank account. So it's a group to where, well, depending on how Michelle's going to run it, but mostly you want people that are in there that are going to add some type of value. In this case, when we're talking about Got Backup, sharing the things that are particular to Got Backup that will pique people's interest, but there's no links, right? It's all, hey, get back to the person that invited you here. If somebody like let's say Gene, you do some video and it's in reference to Got Backup, you can post it in there. And then I could go and add somebody to that group and then tag them in that post and say, hey, Rita, check out this video here. And then I would go and I would message that person and say, hey, Rita, I tagged you in a video in that group. Right. So you add the person, tag them, and then message them.
The goal is
Okay,
to
yeah,
build community.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's big for Facebook, I think this works brilliantly for Facebook. I don't know if it works for other places. In fact, like I'm out doing content on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is an untapped gold mine. A lot of people are having some, success on TikTok, and I actually did have somebody join Live Good for that. Um, what you can do is you can drive traffic back to the group, and don't have the group set up, so I'm just driving traffic to a link, right? So if you drive traffic to the group, the goal, the mindset is, you're going to people are going to see a community. So it's social proof. It's more, I'm big on social proof. I just feel like that's really what gets people interested. And I've noticed with these two opportunities, a little bit more building that community could be done. So I feel like this is, and actually I'm not, there is one large group out there out of the UK and Australia, and they're building like wildfire. So this is really good. Um, for Facebook, it's for social media. It's a really good avenue for getting people to come in and take a look. You don't have to go pitch anybody. You don't have to. You can simply have a conversation with people and say, hey, when it comes up, hey, I got this thing going on. You mind if would you like to take a look at it? And then that's when you can send them the invite to the group.
Right. Plant the seed, right?
Exactly.
Plant the seed. Well, I love
We
the
have
idea. Go ahead, Gene.
I'm saying we have that with one of our groups. Look at us now. I just did not know it was called the ad tag and message group. So that was what was new to me. One caveat. I don't know if you're gonna have, is your group gonna be a private or a public group, Michelle?
It it's going to be a private group, but it will, once it gets enough people in there, be visible.
Okay.
Only because you want to vet people
Mm-hmm.
coming in. For instance,
You real
you
quick,
have to
Michelle.
set them, yeah, you have to make it so that the person inviting them can get some credit, and so that there's one of the rules is going to be no poaching, right? So you don't want to people going around and trying to take other people's prospects. So,
Michelle, I want you to double check too before you do that. I could be wrong, but I think that once you have a private group, it can't go public, or if it's public and then you go private, you can't go back public. It's one of those two things. So
well,
just
if
Yeah.
it's a public group, it still has to have some, yeah, you might be right on that. It still has to have some, uh, you know, parameters in place.
yes.
So,
The other thing to consider too, just to mention, right, and I do this as well. You guys know I've got groups for these things. You can have questions in there, and if people don't answer those questions, they don't gain access. And then
right.
obviously you're going to want to have, a couple of people that are going to help admin as well. So things to consider, but double check on the whole privacy, private versus public.
Yeah, I noticed that with some of the public groups, a lot of riffraff comes in there, and I've been getting aggravated with with some of the guy with the live good stuff. People throwing up all kinds of stuff that is complete disinformation, scams, and things. So we want to definitely not. I mean, it can still be a private group, but
Right.
be visible.
Sure.
So yeah,
Absolutely. Just check on those things and then let's
yeah.
confer and whatever you need
I'll
from us.
drop the link.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Rita, what you got, my friend?
I just wanted to add on to what Michelle was saying that Jessie Lee Ward, for those of you that
Yes.
know who she was, very, very big in huge, built a worldwide team in
Yep.
network marketing using ad tag and message or ATM.
Mhm.
So it is a system, and a lot of people are using it. A lot of people that are six-figure earners. So if I find anything that gives another explanation, I'll put it in our group chat.
Sounds great.
The
Absolutely.
last piece, and I don't want to take up any more of your
Yeah, no,
time, but
you're good.
um, the goal is to build some excitement. So if you're coming in, feel free to post. And then as we're tagging people in posts, it can be a variety of things. It can be, usually a lot of times how these are set up, or you will have like a product group, and then an opportunity group. I don't think I need to do that here. I think we can mix it up. But the goal is to create excitement. So when you see people posting, you definitely want to be engaging, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's just not, it just falls flat.
And
So that's
I
the only
want to
thing.
echo on what she's saying. And engaging doesn't mean just a like button, okay? Don't just thumbs up it. Drop a love, drop a comment, be nice.
OMG. I don't like OMG. But it can be something similar to that. Oh my, whatever. I can't believe it. I can't, whatever it is, just if you can do that,
Right,
then that definitely helps. Otherwise, it's just going to be a boring group and nobody's going to be in it. They'll be out
right.
as fast as they can come
Absolutely.
in. So
Absolutely. Well,
the
we're
goal is to
down for
help
that.
you build your businesses, right?
Totally.
That's what we want to do.
Love it, love it, love it. I love it when a plan comes together too. So yeah, let us know. Whenever you got that ready, just let us know. We'll drop it in here. We'll share it with everybody. We'll get the word out. Uh-oh. I saw your lips moving, but you muted yourself. You're still muted.
I will get the link and post it. That's it.
Sounds good, my friend. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else? Any last minute wins? Great to see you, Kim, popping in. Love to see your face. You
Yay!
got me so excited when I saw you pop in the room. I'm
I
like,
was running errands and trying to get back as fast as I could.
man, I'm so happy to see your face. We missed you, girl.
Yeah,
We missed you.
I'm happy to be here and see everybody's faces too.
Love it. Love it. Thanks for being here. Any other last wins before we go into the content part?
Can you hear me, Robert?
I can.
What's going on, brother?
What's shaking?
What's up, superstars?
What's up?
Hey, I just got a real quick minute. I'm always on the go. I'm actually on my way to Tulsa right now. I just got back from Missouri. Went up there for 5 days and dealt with a lot of rain and snow, believe it or not.
Oh boy.
But one of my biggest wins was getting back to Oklahoma this week. you know, that may not sound like a big deal, but when you up there in the middle of nowhere and have no way to work, and you're up there sitting in the motel, it's kind of boring. But
Yeah, no doubt.
another win I had this week was really, I've been since my social media manager, and you know more about that, Robert. My social
Yeah.
media manager disappeared on me. I've been
Yeah.
taking on that job myself of being a social media manager,
Cool.
and that consistency of posting more items on eBay. The algorithm, if you post so many up a day, the algorithm picks up and notices that you're more consistent, so they'll push your content out more.
All right.
So so I've actually got it to the point where which when my social media manager left, we were doing about 5 sales a day, and then when she left, it went down to about one to two. And now I've been consistently, posting about 10 items a day. And now I've gotten back to the point where I'm now getting back. Like yesterday, I got six sales. So that was awesome.
Oh yeah, bro.
And
That's what's up.
went to, went to several auctions this weekend and found a lot of cool stuff there. And, my motto is digging treasures for your pleasure. So
I love
finding treasures for other people's pleasure, but it's a pleasure for me finding them too. It's just fun going out and just finding things that other people can appreciate. I got one win I got was a Harlem Globetrotter, basketball signature basketball. It was pretty cool.
right on.
But
Well, good. That's definitely some wins, brother.
yeah, so I had some really cool wins, and now and just my thing is right now is balance, getting
Sure.
everything balanced out.
Yeah.
How much time to put into this, how much time to put into that. And one of my next goals is getting actually on board with NowSite.
Cool.
And I talked to a gentleman too this week. Robert, Robert, that about doing a cover photo for me.
Sure. Yep.
So everything's on the table. It's just organizing it and where to put it and when to put it into place. So I just want to
Perfect.
say I appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate you, Robert. Appreciate your leadership.
Aw.
And I'm just in the back here listening and just appreciate everyone.
Well, good, Ben. Be careful driving there, brother.
Yeah, today's the 10th, so it's a big day. Today's food stamp day, so got a lot of meat sales to do.
I'm gonna go sell some meat, baby.
Yeah,
Just be careful driving there, brother. Appreciate
definitely.
those. And those are great wins, man. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing those with us.
Yeah.
Any other final wins? Yes? No? Maybe so? All right. All right, let me go ahead and let's get into the content portion here, which is again, this is week 10. So we're 10 weeks into the new year of 2025. So I don't know how you go about doing your goaling, whether it's weekly, monthly, daily, yearly, or any of that stuff. The key component that I preach around here is something that I learned from my door-to-door days, is just to simply focus on 5 conversations per hour. If you could do that in your network marketing experience, then you will see a lot of different things happen and positive things happen. You'll hear some people like, I actually was on a webinar this weekend, which was a great webinar. Love the leaders, 6-figure earners. You know, the one person was saying, do at least 10. And to me, when I heard that, I was like, oh, ouch. Is it possible? Yes, it is. But are they going to be quality conversations? I don't know, right? Which is again going back to the whole 5 per hour. You know, if you take heed to what we're talking about, that if you're on a goal or a mission of 5 people per hour, then that just simply means that you cannot spend more than 15 minutes per person, right? Within those 15 minutes, you have to determine, well, is the conversation going to be a business conversation or is it going to be just a friendly conversation? We always start out with a friendly conversation. But in essence, we want, which we've been running for the past 3 years, is teaching people how to escape that 9 to 5, right? Teaching people like the things that you've heard, having the ability to have the balance that they need to leverage what they're doing, because that's really what it is. It's called leveraging, to leverage what they're doing in an online environment to be able to escape that 9 to 5. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So there's 2 things really that we want to focus on. Number one is online business. And the definition of that is just simply a business that operates over the internet, right? So it can range from e-commerce store, drop shipping, digital product sales. It can even be online courses. It can be services that are provided remotely even, right? I know one of my business partners lives all the way in Iran. So there's different ways to make money online. And, I say this all the time, and it's really easy. But of course, I say it's easy, but it was difficult at first, right? It's always difficult at first for all of us when we come on board doing this online thing because we don't know what we're doing, right? And then many times we had to get into some kind of group or something like this to where there's a leader, a mentor, somebody that's willing to help and teach us, which is why we're all here. And then we all learn together, we collectively grow together, right? Way easier for you to escape the 9 to 5 being in a community, which is what we've been talking about since we started this conversation, really, is to be able to do that in a thriving, flourishing community. You'll be able to get to where you want to be and escape that 9 to 5 a lot quicker than you going out there trying to bang your head against the wall and trying to figure it out yourself. Okay. So I guess what I'm saying is don't be afraid to ask for help. Right. So online business is one thing, and there's many different ways to make money online. You just need the right skill set and the right knowledge. Once you have those skill sets and that knowledge, you can make money all kinds of different ways. I was talking to Rita over the weekend and even talking about her video that she's creating. And as we're going through this process, I'm just teaching her little by little the things that I've also learned, which gives her another skill set. Once she's mastered that skill set of being able to create those videos, guess what? That's something that she can take to the bank. She can go and now create videos for other people that maybe don't have the time or maybe don't want to spend that time to do that, right? So, that being said, we want to learn as much as we possibly can to be able to escape from that 9 to 5. And it's just like anything else, right, that we're doing or learning. We have to immerse ourselves in it the best that we possibly can. Even at your 9 to 5, when you started that job, whatever it is, you had to learn that job, right? And then as you did it, you got better and better and better. The same thing applies for network marketing. But if you don't do the work, then you're not going to see any results. And when I say work, let's be clear, okay? We're not talking about digging ditches here, folks. All we're talking about is having conversations with people. But in order for us to have the conversation, we need to, first off, have the right, the gift of gab, the art of communication, the basic art of communication, which has been since lost since the dawn and age of technology, right? Once technology came around, although it was meant to be our friends, we lost that art of communication because everybody's sitting there texting instead of picking up the phone and calling, right? So we want to be able to escape the 9 to 5 using some kind of online leverage. And then the 9 to 5, when we're talking about that, obviously everybody should know. We're just talking about traditional employment that's modeled and characterized by working a fixed amount of hours. So I do have to tell you this story, especially for those of you that are new or maybe watching there in YouTube land, is that it wasn't until I did direct marketing door to door that I really learned and understood what my true value was. And let me explain real quickly. So I knew and I learned that if I went to, McDonald's, which is a job that I did, or Grease Monkey, any one of those jobs that I went to that was 9 to 5, and they said, hey, we're hiring. And I went in there, filled out an application, and went through the whole interview process, and they decided to hire me. The moment they hired me at, let's say it was $10 an hour or $12 an hour, and I didn't realize this until door to door. I realized it then that I was putting my worth on myself at only that $10 or $12 an hour. Now, if you're making $20 an hour or more in a 9 to 5 job, then great, kudos to you. That's not the norm, right? And even now, when you look across the United States, like I've seen some places that the minimum wage that they were trying to hire people at was $15 an hour, especially back in them COVID days, because they just couldn't find people to go to work. Now, with that being said, and going through those days, there are more people that are open to working from home. There are more people that are realizing that there is something better that's out there, right? Now, I'm not knocking anybody doing a 9 to 5. Let's be very clear, because we all have to start somewhere. We all have to learn these things. But once you know your true worth and your true value, and you have the skill sets to be able to sell not so much products, but yourself, then life really can change. And it wasn't until I did direct marketing door to door that I learned and realized that within that same hour that I was working that 9 to 5 job and only making 12 or 15 bucks an hour, I could literally make 100 or 500 or $1,000 within that hour. That's what really opened up my eyes, especially in the sales environment or sales world. Sales is not a bad word. It's what makes the world go round, if you will. It's what has the economy either good or bad. As my friend Marshall Silver says, it's good for you, it's good for me, it's good for everybody. But if you're not having or exchanging those sales, and in essence, really what it is transference of emotions, then you're not going to have the ability to create the income that you need to generate to escape that 9 to 5. So there's different types of incomes that we're going to discuss real quick. Pick out whichever one's going to suit you the best, and we'll talk about them. Open it up for questions if you want, or discussion. But number one, recurring revenue or recurring income. That's the one that I love. Okay. So you have a recurring income. This is an income that's earned regularly at intervals. It might be weekly, it might be monthly. It depends on what opportunity that is the driving force behind that recurring income. Number two, you have what's known as a passive income. So this type of income requires an initial investment, though. It's either going to be time or money. Typically, it's going to be both, but it generates earnings without requiring active involvement, meaning you don't have to do anything for it. Right? Think crypto kind of, right? Passive income. The third one is an active income. This is a direct opposite of a passive income. It's what most people traditionally earn from your 9 to 5s. So if you're in a 9 to 5, you can consider that your income is what's known as an active income, in case you've never heard that terminology before. Then you have number 4, which is another one of my favorite, which is affiliate income. So affiliate income is a subset of passive income. Affiliate income is earned by promoting other people's products or services. I'll say that again. It's earned by promoting other people's products or services. What does that mean to you that's watching or listening? That means you don't have to create the wheel, my friends, right? There is already out there reliable products and services that you can get behind and share. And the way that I love to say this, and I ripped it off from a buddy of mine many years ago, and it's doing the same thing that you've been doing for many years, just not getting paid on it. What do I mean? Simply by referring other people. How many of us have gone to a good movie, right, or a good restaurant? We really enjoyed it. What do? We post on social media or we tell our friends. Our friends go, did we get paid for it? Typically, that's a big fat no, right? In network marketing or affiliate marketing, that's how we change or flip that script, right? We're able to share those types of things, but actually, because we're an affiliate of that product or program, we're able to get paid. So we're able to get our cut, so to speak. Okay. So affiliate income and recurring income are two of my favorites. Then you got number 5, which is ad revenue, right? You might have a website to where you're selling advertising, or maybe you're a product endorser to where, a YouTube celebrity to where you're getting ad revenue for people going to your videos. There's ad revenue that's out there that is also another way that you can generate income. So again, I'm pointing these out because there's a lot of different ways to make money. You just have to know what they are and how to tap into them, and then how to ultimately be successful for those different avenues or streams, right? The 6th one I want to briefly mention is product sales. And this is really what makes the world go round when you talk about the economy, right? In order for money to flow, there has to be some kind of product sale, which is in essence just a transference of emotions. Okay. You're going to transfer your emotion onto them on why they need your product, or they're going to transfer their emotion onto you on why they're not going to buy your product. Now, a lot of that, as I've mentioned before, really depends on how you position yourself and how you share the message. If you share the message properly, you won't get people telling you no. Okay. If you share it properly, you'll get a lot of people that will tell you yes. Okay. Those are the things that we teach around here, especially the sales psychology part of things. But product sales is number 6. And then number 7 is service sales. So that's income derived. And actually, let me go back to 6. Product sales includes income from selling physical or digital products, to be clear. So they could be like ebooks or software or online courses, right? Even Got Backup could be considered a product sale, but it's affiliate because we're able to earn from it. Number 7 is service sales. So that's income derived from providing services. Maybe it's a consulting service, or maybe it's a coaching service like what I offer, right? Teaching people how to navigate through the muddy waters of network marketing. These are typically active incomes. Now, when you look and you think about those things, and part of what I wanted to talk about, especially anybody that is out there dealing with that 9 to 5, is you have to have a starting point. And here's where a lot of people screw up. Number 1, their mindset's all off. They join these businesses because they're trying to make money. Okay. Instead of having the right attitude and mindset to say, okay, who can I help with this particular product? Because those are the people that you're looking for. You're looking for those people that product solves whatever problem it is that they have, right? If you can do that in such a way and simply invite people to whatever video it is that's doing the description, again, my big thing that I try to teach people around here is that you don't have to be the closer like I am. right? All we want you to do is just get really good at inviting people to the party. Think of it just like that. We're having a party, it's a presentation. Your job is to invite people to the party. That's when you hear us talking about being married to the process and divorced from the outcome. That's what we're talking about. You don't need to be the closer until you're confident enough and you know what you're saying, you know the product, you know it inside and out, and you can present it in such a fashion that it will blow people's minds or knock their socks off. Okay? But we have to have a starting point, getting back to what I was talking about. And it could be something as little as your electric bill. Maybe it's a car note, right? Car note's going to be a little bit higher. I would pick something that's a lower bill that you can afford, right? Well, first things first, get your business paying for itself. Secondly, what's a bill that you can eclipse using the leverage that we're talking about, whatever that vehicle is in your network marketing or affiliate marketing journey, and then grow it to where it's now paying that next bill. Once you achieve that, now we're going to find another bill that's slightly higher. We're going to go and we're going to work that business until it's eclipsing that bill. And that's all realistically that you want to do, little by little, is have the online business eclipsing the bills that you have that you're currently covering with your 9 to 5. Now, it's going to take some time. This is not get rich quick overnight. It's not what we teach or what we preach. Now, one thing I can tell you though is if you do the right things, you have the right conversations, the right amount of conversations, you can get any business into profit within 30, 60 to 90 days. So if you're sitting here, you're listening to me and you've been in your business longer than 90 days and it's not paying for itself, we need to talk. Maybe we need some personal coaching, right? We need to get that figured out. Because over the 90-day mark, and the reason why I say this is because then you're negative or you're in the red, and unless you have a really big month, it's going to be hard to catch up. And that really depends too on how big the opportunity is and how much money that you've put into it. Some people put small amounts, other people, it takes $600 or $1,000 to join certain opportunities. But the point is that we need to little by little eclipse those little bills that you're currently paying with that 9 to 5 until eventually all of those bills are eclipsed and there's money left over. Be very clear. We're not telling you to go out and quit your job, even though some people have done that, right? And some people have succeeded, right? That's not what we're telling you to do. We want to give you number one, the knowledge, and then number two, different tips and tricks on how you can escape that 9 to 5. But it's going to be, to where it's almost stair step is the way that I like to call it. Little by little, you're going to have to eclipse those little goals of paying for the electric, paying for the car, and then eventually maybe paying for the house, right? Make sure that you got enough to pay for the groceries if they're $200 or more per month, whatever that is. And if you don't know, I would highly recommend writing it all down. On that note, too, I want you to know that if you're going to succeed with this and you want something of value, maybe it's a new house or a new car, you're going to need to know what the cost of that is. If you want the lavish lifestyle, the mansions, the yachts, you're going to need to know what the cost of those things are. You can't just say, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I want to have a yacht and live by the bay. I mean, you can say those things, but they're not going to be realistic and it's not going to happen. You're never going to be able to manifest them if you never know what they're going to cost, so that you at least have a vision and an idea of what direction that you need to take. Right? So we've talked about the different incomes that are out there. And really, it is easy to do. But again, you have to learn these things and then they become easy. But here's the thing I want to ask you. We can open it up. And the things that's most important, and I bring this up because of another video from another leader that I was listening to this morning, and that's accountability. Write that word down. Accountability, my friends. Who are you accountable to? Right? So I love all of you that come here Monday because you're accountable to yourselves when you come here. I don't want you to be accountable to me. Will I hold you accountable? Well, sure, if you show up, you're being accountable. But ultimately, you have to be accountable to yourself. Every morning when I wake up, I have to be accountable to myself. You heard, Gene before he left, and even Rita not feeling well. Accountability means to either be there or not be there too, right? But we have to think, who are we accountable to? Because if we're not even showing up, how do we expect other people to show up, right? So there's some talking points here that we can talk about too, and we're right at the top of the hour. We can make it quick and short. But there's things to consider, right? There's the power of automation. If there's things that we can do, software that within reason that we can afford, if not, then let's get to the affordability and let's make sure that we're leveraging so that they're paying for themselves because they are tools and we need tools to build our business, regardless of what business it is. If we can get some power of automation going on, right? We have our personal brand that we need to consider. For those of you that are new, don't know what I'm talking about, we're going to brand ourselves, right? We're going to become that leader that people want to follow, right? We're going to share personal experiences. We're going to ask good questions. We're going to tell personal stories, all while building a personal brand. Third thing is that we're going to use social media for a lot of this. So I don't have to go out there and go knocking 100 doors like I used to have to do in the door-to-door role. I can just gather people up or gather my audience right on social media. Some of the things that we were talking about already with Michelle and opening up a group, right? And then funnel people into that group, have the conversations within that group. But diversification of income is something to be considered. You hear a lot of people out there talking about multiple streams of income, but I just want to point out it's going to be very difficult for you to join and build multiple income streams if you don't know how to build even just one, my friend. Okay? So we have to learn how to build one, and when we learn how to build one, then we can build many. But that being said, we also don't want to bite off more than we could chew, as the saying goes. And the reason that I say that is because when you have too much on your plate and you're spread too thin, there's not a lot of focus that's going to go into one or other of those businesses, right? Makes sense? Totally should make sense. If you have one business, well, that's what you're focusing on. When you have two businesses, now that splits your focus into half, right? You have three businesses, boom, now your focus is 33 and 1/3%. Think about that. As the numbers go up with what you're doing, you're losing that focus and dedication on whatever that one thing is, right? So diversification of income is very important too. And you can have different avenues. As an example, I've got a program that I pay one time and I can use that program every single time to make $100 bills coming at me. So I can use that one. I can use another program that's, $10 a month and I can have that one generating me some income. Then I can have this other one on the side that's generating me a monthly or a weekly income. All of those things leveraged together, though, can build a substantial income that will help you free yourself and get out of that 9 to 5 role. And the fifth and final thing is leveraging your skills and your interests. All right. From the day that we started getting onto the internet, we learned and we found out that for you to truly be free and have your identity and all that fun stuff, it's really important to find out something that you're passionate about and you have an interest in. Because when you have that passion and that interest, it's going to show. It's going to show by the things you do and how you communicate. And it's also going to show by what you know, right? So you want to leverage your skills and your interests. So that's all I had to cover for today. I trusted that you guys got some value. If you did, give me a one down in the chat area or raise your hand or hoop and holler. But I want us to consider and start sharing that word so that and information so that people get it and understand like this is the real deal. Like you can make an income from home online, even in your spare time. And if you're able to put more time into it, then you'll be able to grow it even bigger. If you leverage social media, there's avenues that you could do there. You know, TikTok, all the other ones that we were talking about, LinkedIn, those are all there that, and we didn't have those things 15, 20 years ago, my friends. We didn't have anything until MySpace came around. And then with the advent of social media, it's just exploded. So there's not a shortage of people. I'm saying that to say this. There's not a shortage of people to talk to. And if you don't go out there and talk to them, somebody else will, right? So any final questions, comments, concerns, you got to get some value, let me know.
Yep, always get value. Wanted to say that in automating processes, some people are automating processes, which is amazing. Um, Jesse Lee Ward also used an automation of sorts, and it might be something for people to take a look at, and that is having a shortcut on your keyboard. I know we have them I think it's in Teams. Um, and you can set up your keyboard so that you type one word and it pops up. No, I'm sorry. You can just go in and click on whatever it is you want to say. So if you have your scripts already done and you know what the answer to somebody is, like you already have it there. So when they respond, hey, I need your website. So you go in there and boop, it's done. So whatever you want to direct people to, you can create that in Teams for those of you that are in Now site. Okay, I see you screen sharing. You're going to share. Thank
I
you
am. I am.
for the 1,000 words.
Yeah, no problem. Either way, I mean, once you have it set up, right, in the app itself, really, there's not much to it that you have to do. Um, see if I have it. Oops, wrong one.
And if not, they have keyboard shortcuts that you can create. I know iPhone does have it, and so does the Android. They
Oh,
just
down here. So I click my little world globe thingy there, and then there's that. Here you go. So have these little scripts that are already there, ready, right? Everybody see that? That's what she's talking about. Pre-made scripts on a
Robert,
keyboard.
is that on your iPhone or is that an
Yeah.
app?
Well, this is through Now site, right?
Okay.
So Now site, they have a keyboard now. And then the things that you have as an example in your teams, for those of you that are on my team, you have connecting with new prospects, right? Just have like the conversation starter um, that you can copy to clipboard or whatever. But once you have the keyboard done, it's on Android and or iPhone. The little globe in the lower left-hand corner, I don't know if you can see it or not.
no, can't see the globe.
Probably not because you got that
I can
green
see it.
pencil mark. But in the lower left-hand corner of my screen, there's a globe, and all I got to do is click on that globe, and that'll bring up those conversations, right? Quick, quick shortcut or whatever. Also allows me to share things pretty quickly too. Right? As an example, there's that. Right? There's two messages right there.
Just got it.
Yeah. So that's how that works. Cool beans? Man, oh my God, I'm so confused. You see this? I got 9:41 on my phone and I got 12:09 here. OMG.
Did it reset?
Uh,
Clearly it
that's so weird. Now that I'm looking at my phone, it says 12:09.
did.
Trying to throw me off here. That was weird. Anyway, so yeah, shortcuts, man, they help for sure. Use that keyboard if you got it, man. If you got to use it, like I always say, use the tool. Don't be the tool. All right, my friends. That being said, we're going to wrap this up. I think it was a great meeting. We will see you all again next Monday with some more wins. Thanks for being here. And as I said, man, invite your friends. Tell them to come on over. We'll have some fun and everybody will learn something. That being said, have a fantastic day. Let's go out there, kick ass, take names, and we'll see you next Monday. Toot toot. Love you. Bye bye.